been excited about this day for a year.
27 years.
Yeah, 32 years, or 27 years. I'd like to share with you a few things about our family that are important to us before we make a toast to Savannah and Nick. And so there's two sort of foundations or pillars about our family, the Geasey family, and that is this. Number one, this is really simple, and that is just the importance of family. That's it. And then there's number two, which ties into number one. And for those of you who know us well, this is going to be a no-brainer, and that is the love of food, right? Okay. I mean, that's not the reason why we're here today, everyone, but that does tie in. But what I mean tonight is, I don't mean gourmet food. I don't mean the nice spread that we have tonight, or the nice hors d'oeuvres, or any of that. I mean being together for the breaking of bread. To show gratitude, Thanksgiving. And just as a side note, we're not having leftover turkey for dinner tonight. But the Eucharist is about Thanksgiving, which we just celebrated a couple hours ago. The consecration of bread and wine symbolizes the Last Supper. Tonight, we are all together as a collective family. We break bread, and it's about a very important first supper. Sharing a meal is the best way for us to share our lives and values as a family. This is going to be a great night. And Nick and you Katchers and friends thereof, I made one realization about you very early on, and that's this. You're a wonderful bunch. You really, really are. And I'd like to tell you about Nick's first visit to our house when he came down with Savannah. Now, this was nothing like, the movie with Robert De Niro, Meet the Parents. It wasn't anything like that. But I did think of that movie once or twice when he came down to visit. And they came down from Wheaton for the weekend or something like that. And the two of them, and this was 7 years ago, and the two of them went out for a walk around the neighborhood to get some space and sort of be together. And I turned to Kathleen in the kitchen and I said to her, so, do you think Savannah's met her match? Now, don't give me any special awards for for figuring that out, because it was on the radar, I think, with everyone. But so then later on, Savannah and Nick went up to the Katcher's house outside of Boston. They've got a great place in Waltham. And before this, back at school, she said to Nick, "Hey, would you like to come down and celebrate Easter holiday with our family?" And he didn't really give her any kind of an answer. But then, I don't know, a week or two after that, they go up to his house. And while they're up there, she says, "Hey, Nick, you never got back to me about coming down for Easter." Now, do you know what he said? Nick knows what he said, but do you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what he said. He said, "Hey, Mom, Dad, Savannah invited us all down to her house for Easter." So, the Easter family visit was one of many enjoyable times we spent with the Katchers. And Nick, I admire you on a whole bunch of levels. You go with the flow, even with our oddball family. You're naturally inclusive, which I love. And to admire and respect my daughter's new spouse, in my view and opinion, is the highest compliment that I could ever make to my daughter, who, needless to say, I love very much. Nick and Savannah, everyone in this room supports you in this big decision. We trust you, we love you, and we hope that you're as blessed as we have been. And I hope I don't lose my voice. In the reading Dick Wimpress gave, where he said, love is patient, love is kind. And Dick is my father, right here, my father-in-law and Savannah's grandfather. I think we've all heard this piece from Corinthians before, but here's another piece that I think was left off. Love takes work, and it can be challenging. And Bonnie talked about using a few metaphors with bike riding, and I also heard a metaphor with, canoeing down the river, where it can be challenging, it can be fun, it can be exhilarating, it can be a whole bunch of things, okay? But it can be challenging, but the end sum, I think, is great. Love can be, in my view, with Nick as part of this, it can be like graduate level econ, where 1 + 1 sometimes equals something greater than 2, but you have to be really smart to figure out the logic behind all that. I think Nick has those brains. So, and I just saw on Facebook the other day, it said that the loving relationship between a husband and wife is psychological. And what I mean by that is, one is psycho, and the other is logical. Okay? And so, all humor aside, I think the reason why there's a little bit of humor to that is because it's kind of true. Okay? At least in my household. So, Kathleen and I have been married for 32 years. That's 32 psychological years. We have the most amazing family, and that is Kathleen, who is always next to me, my wonderful daughter Colleen, Savannah, and now Nick. I'm so happy and incredibly proud. Thank you, everyone, and your part in what is happening tonight. You all are part of this. So what I'd like to ask of you all is I'd like you to raise your glass. My glass is right here. I'd like you to toast. I can't hold a glass, hold a thing. Okay, here we go. I'd like you to raise your glasses and drink a champagne toast to honor, support, and encourage the new Mr. and Mrs. Katcher. May the Lord bless you and keep you. We wish you many years of health, wealth, love, and happiness. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And now Jeremy.
Nice job, Bill.